Is Lufthansa really a 5-star airline? Well, most people don't really think so due to their outdated business class seat. And with the delays to the 777X, the new Lufty business class seat isn't coming anytime soon. But it looks like Condor might have filled in the gap on their brand new A330 Neos. Luckily, Condor has been flying these Pippi Longstocking looking aircraft to Vancouver, and that's what I'll be taking to get back home this afternoon from Frankfurt. I just flew in from Zurich, where I had about an 80-minute connection. This is pretty fair, but I wasn't expecting to stop anywhere along the way. As to be somewhat expected at Frankfurt Airport, my flight today will be leaving from a remote stand, which means that we'll have to take a bus out to the aircraft. Frankfurt is really selling the bus station feelings with this section of the terminal, which is quite the mess in terms of crowd control. But I honestly think that's the case with every gate here at this airport. Condor is a German leisure airline, and they fly to Vancouver seasonally. Just a FYI, they tend to really push the upgrades at the gate. So if you're wanting a fairly decent chance at getting business class on a confirmed economy ticket, then Condor might be in your horizons in the future. Arriving at the aircraft, I noticed this A330 Neo was spotless. I checked to see when it was manufactured, and it was built in 2020. Only after looking into the fine details of making this video, it was originally intended for Garuda Indonesia, but Condor scooped it up. This was actually the first revenue flight for this aircraft. This plane is truly brand new. The business class on this aircraft is laid out in a 1-2-1 configuration, with the window seats alternating closer to the window. I was lucky enough to snag one of these seats 6A for this 10-hour journey back home. This business class seat has all your typical findings you'd have in a modern business class seat. I'm absolutely loving the color palette and the wood finish of the seat, not to mention the new 4K IFE screen. Although the tray table was of a different design, which I haven't seen before.
Alexander Barker und dem Herrn Tobias Naut von unserer Seite hier vorne schon mal ein herzliches Willkommen an Bord unseres neuesten Airbus A330 newest A330-900 we have at Condor. The aircraft just arrived from the factory in Toulouse on Saturday, had a few days in our maintenance, and now this is the first commercial flight, so you are the first passenger sitting in your seats. And we actually wanted to be on the way since 2 minutes now. However, we had some passengers not showing up at the gate. However, they checked in baggage and we're not allowed to take along any baggage with us, with the passengers missing. Hence, we have to offload it all now, and means we will have to unload the containers, search for the luggage, and we found that already. The colleagues on ground and putting it all back in place right now. Once that is done, within the next 7 to 8 minutes, we'll be starting up our engines here and getting ourselves on the way to Vancouver. Departure will be
device or in-flight entertainment monitor become damaged, they're no longer required. Your life vest is located under your seat. If instructed,
After an amazing takeoff on such a beautiful day, it was time to check out some of those Wi-Fi prices. For myself personally, I don't tend to purchase Wi-Fi on flights anymore, unless if I really need it. I thought the price was fine for an unlimited package if it wasn't capped at 4 hours. For what you're paying, that should be made available for the entire flight. Now is a great time to check out the amenity kits. This was the exact same one I had on my previous flight from Whitehorse that was served in premium economy. You'll find your usual spread of amenity kit goodies, but I'm absolutely loving this travel organizer. This was waiting at all the business class seats, and as someone who uses these frequently while traveling, I'll be using these going forward. Great addition, Condor. The IFE is a brand new 4K screen with a new updated UI. A lot better than the cookie cutter one found on their 767s. Besides your usual run-of-the-mill entertainment, you can also find a duty-free catalog in here. There's a decent amount of new movie selections, plus all the classics and more. You will not be going bored. What even makes the system so great and modern too is you now can connect your Bluetooth headphones to the IFE, not to mention the USB Type-C outlet built into the seat. The lavatory is of a standard affair, but was kept pretty clean for the most part. There were no extra amenities in there, but I liked the striped walls, plus this handy foot lever for the trash. Before the meal service starts, hot towels are handed out. You know, by now I was expecting the usual business class meal service, but I couldn't have been more wrong. Things got started with a glass of cognac and some toasted nuts. So there was 4 different appetizers on the menu, and I just assumed you'd pick one, but no, you get all 4. Granted, the portions were relatively small. We start things off with a mixed green salad, a curry date dip, garlic bread, a Frankfurt green sauce tartlet with roast beef, and some smoked salmon. Also, you get this little biplane salt and pepper shaker. This has a new home on my dinner table. For the main, I had to go with the cod and lobster bisque alongside cream cabbage. This was so rich and tasty, and one of the best fish dishes I've ever had on a flight. I'd even mentioned that they went off with the drink service, coming by with a drink cart between every course. To cap things off, there was a cheese plate and some cake. This was supposed to be a lemon tartlet, but I'm not complaining at all. I truly don't think I've been served so much food all at once on a flight. I was absolutely stuffed after this. The seat lays completely flat and comes alongside with a cushy mattress cover, along with a nice duvet. My one irk with business class seats sometimes is the armrest obstructs the overall width of the bed. But I actually found this weird button on the side of the armrest, and it actually detaches the armrest, creating more room for the bed. It's kinda hard to put back, so I'd be cautious if you decide to remove it. After a good rest of traveling all morning, I woke up just above Yellowknife. Again, I couldn't help myself to some German gummies. You'd have to pay extra for these guys. About 2 hours away from Vancouver, the last meal service came through, all on one tray. Another small salad, a pretzel, and chicken tikka masala. And there's a missing lemon tart from earlier. This was perfect timing for lunch, as I wasn't in Europe for very long. My body clock was still on West Coast time. Let's wrap it up here. Is Condor better than Lufthansa? Well, for this business class product, I gotta say yeah. This seat was super sleek and modern. The meal service was amazing and probably some of the best I've had in the skies. Great staff, and not to mention the super sleek brand new plane. I personally feel Lufty has been lacking behind quite a bit in terms of their business class product, and putting all their chips in one place with the 777X program, with their new business class seat. It keeps on getting delayed for all the right reasons, but it looks like Condor has taken a cut above where Lufthansa stays stagnant. I love flying on the A330 Neo, and it was an extra bonus to take the first ever revenue flight for a brand new aircraft. Not too many people say they can do that. So if you'd like to take a shot and fly on this exact brand new plane, well, I'm sorry to say that you will be out of luck for the time being. A couple weeks after I shot this, it looks like someone from Frankfurt in Frankfurt decided to punch a hole in the side of the plane with a container loader. It will definitely take some time before this is fully repaired and it's back in the skies. Besides all of that, this was an amazing opportunity, and I gladly recommend you flying Condor in business class if you're ever given the chance.
Freuen uns schon sehr, wenn wir Sie auf dem Rückflug wieder bei uns an Bord begrüßen dürfen. Bis dahin wünschen wir Ihnen einen wunderschönen, angenehmen Aufenthalt.
Thanks again for you all to taking the time to watch this. If you'd like, feel free to subscribe. Cheers, and I'll see you in the next one.